Delta group playing D&D. My name's Becca, I play Elspeth the Bard, and I will let everyone else introduce themselves. I will say Foss, who plays Eret, our fighter, is away this evening, and I believe Dom, who plays Treevy, our druid, is also away. But I will let the others introduce themselves.
Any particular order, or are we going top down? Because I think Sam is AFK at the moment.
I did say Sam can introduce himself last. Other than that, I don't give a flying heck.
Cool.
I'm here.
I guess I'll start. What's up, party peoples? Azuzu. I don't have a character at the moment, but Azuzu.
I'm Sam. I'm playing Tomfoolery, the Goblin Trickster Cleric. Scott.
Hey everyone, this is Scott, the DM here for Delta Group.
And I'm Traz, playing Cloud, the Tabaxi Rogue Warlock.
And I believe Azuzu has volunteered to do our recap this evening.
Yeah, I don't know why I agreed to such things, but yeah, I did agree to
This
do
evening.
the recap. Yeah, last week's episode was quite interesting because it just went so bad so quickly. Copy and Tom went to Toto's brother's warehouse to have a chat with him about getting the shoes. Copy asked Tom to step outside, but Tom turned invisible, stayed inside, and then kind of overheard some of the back door dealings that Copy was doing. Did get the shoes, but still kind of overheard some of the conversation. Elspeth, Cloud, and while waiting for Toto's brother, Copy and Tom were introduced to this kind of pat burglar circus person who invited them to the circus that's in town, apparently. While that was happening, Cloud, Elspeth, and Eret went to the Cobalt Reserve to hand in the book, which they did, and then they returned back to the city as normal. When they came back, again, they were, while traveling, they again stumbled upon, was it 3 halflings in a trench coat or 3 goblins in a trench coat? Yeah. 3 goblins in a trench coat who again invited 2 gnomes in a trench coat who invited them to the circus once again and handed out tickets to Cloud to hand out to other people that he may want to be invited, which Cloud very willingly did after returning back to the city. Everyone kind of met up at the tavern, and Copy kind of took herself away to her room to kind of go about her business when Tom told everyone about some of the backdoor dealings. Didn't particularly go down well because Eret, Cloud, and Tom ambushed Copy in her room. Words were exchanged. I'm not going to go into a lot of details, but words were exchanged. The conclusion of which was Copy was no longer going to be in the party, which explains why I don't have a character at the moment. And before everyone left, Tom did knock her out unconscious with a particular spell. I forget what spell he used, but particular spell.
Inflict wounds.
Inflict wounds, there we go. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, missed one bit. Tom's rival showed up to restrain Copy while she was in her room. Again, some exchange of words before Copy kind of brought him down to meet with Tom. Then I think both of them had a conversation with Tom's mentor, I think the other guy was, to effectively arrange a time to do a bit of a seance in the evening. Unless I'm forgotten anything, I think that's everything. It's a bit jumbled up, unfortunately. Sorry.
Elspeth ended up running out the pub, panicking, and dimension dooring into Vincent's lounge.
Yeah. Sorry, I missed that. Because I was a bit confused as to why she ran out.
because the tavern smells like alcohol, and alcohol caused a flashback. And she rolled a nat 1 on her wisdom save.
Ah, right. No, because it was essentially the exact same time when Tom informed about copy. So I didn't. I as a player didn't know whether that was a reaction to that or whether it's something else. Not until you set off afterwards in the after the stream went off. But yes, unless I've forgotten everything, I think that's everything.
Yeah, I think that's about it. So, that was interesting, to say the least. Now we have to contend with a runaway bard, an unconscious rogue gunslinger, and the rest of the party are just going to sit there going, damn. It's a few hours later. I'll say if it's like about 2 hours later after that initial sort of outburst of activity towards the end of the night. Unless anyone has anything to do during the immediate sort of aftermath of Elspeth running away and Copy getting a bitch slapping of a lifetime.
Cloud would. Cloud obviously realizing that Elspeth didn't just go outside and wait or search. He would go out, find a quiet alleyway, spend a minute to cast a flock of familiars and create 3 more Trissums, and he would send 2 of them to go catch up with the other one and start looking around the area that she disappeared in to see if they could find her. While the third one, he would write a note to Benjamin, informing him that where Copy was, she's currently unconscious. If he wants her, come and get her. If she escapes, he's got some of her blood for him to help track her down if he that desperate, and he will send a Tristram off to pass a note on while he wipes some of the blood from the blade staff into a vial and then heads off to catch up with the Tristams and start searching around the area for Elspeth.
Tom would kind of, while you're doing all that, kind of pull you aside while you're doing all the Tristams and the notes and stuff and say, if you're looking for your friend, I don't know what the relationship is there, but your friend, I can look, I can see her if you want. I've got spell, so I can see her where they are, or at least see what they're doing.
Perfect. If you could, please.
All right, man. I'll just cast scrying and scry on Elspeth, see where she is, see what she's doing at least.
Oh, when you don't have known Elspeth for a couple of days, so your modifier thing for scrying is pretty low. But if Becca could roll the save for against scrying,
Wisdom?
yes, I believe so.
Yeah, wisdom.
I should know because I've been using it quite a lot, you guys. Brain fart. I would believe that would be able to see what you're doing.
Once she's sort of come down a little bit from the initial like flashbacks, she probably would have. I think she would have made her way to the park that we were in the other day with the volleyball. Does that have like a wooded area?
I would say yeah. There's a decent patch of like trees and shrubbery that would.
She probably
conceal
would
them.
have tried to find a little patch of open area in the middle of that woods in there and just sat down for a sec.
kind of seeing it. Tom will probably just turn to Cloud and say she's somewhere with like trees and grass. I don't know an exact location, but I know there's trees and there's grass there.
Obviously, I'd assume that would narrow it down a little bit to Cloud knows the spell Ellsworth used. He's seen her use it a couple of times now, so he knows she can't go super far with it, but I'm sure he can work out some sort of park areas in that general Earth area.
There are a couple of parks in Amon, so he doesn't come here right away, but you've got at least a framework to kind of narrow down your search. And given the distance, you would think, well, okay, unless she's completely spammed the hell of R2 and done Dimension Door a dozen times, you can probably guess that they're roughly within a certain parameter of distance. So, well, it's not got the exact location, you've got a rough idea.
Yeah, so Cloud will start heading that direction.
Cool. We will also say, just for kind of experience thing, that Eric will be preoccupied with something since he's not here, and I'm not really going to be Jaegering more than one person since we've got Freevee absent as well, who is still kind of wandering aimlessly around the Amon, as she does. In fact, I'll have Eric try and say, well, okay, you guys go try and find Elle. I'll go find the wayward druid child, because the last thing we need is somebody else going missing. If you need me, get in touch. And he'll just clank, clank, clank with the armor and wander off. Is there anything else Tom would like to do as Cloud is heading off?
He'd probably just get ready for his ritual, so he'd be like painting his face in like tribal, like war paint.
I want to know what shoe-shaped war paint on the face looks like.
It's shoe polish.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's shoe polish, but the design kind of looks like shoelaces like tied up over his.
Just like almost like Celtic knots, but surely.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucking amazing. Oh. Yeah. So as we're gonna have a little thing here where, since Copy's still unconscious, there's gonna be just a flow of images just coming back to her of our old training days back in Whitestone, some of our earlier assignments. And that old man, Harold, who was like a mentor and father figure to them. Just barrage of sights and sounds from all those years. Just as you're slowly coming back into consciousness, or at least you think you're coming back to consciousness, you're abruptly awoken to find that there's several members of the class who have just bound you up and kind of like, my darling, you have really got yourself into a pickle here. What a mess they've made of this room. You've got Benjamin at the end of the bed looking around with the puddle of blood that was stained into the floor.
She's not going to say anything. She's just going to stay quiet.
He kind of looks at you as if like, for once you're actually keeping your mouth shut. I suppose I think this is a good sign. Boys? And the class members who have you can just like huckle you out and go, up and start moving you out of the room.
Yeah, can't do anything.
And while you're doing that, let's zoom back into what Elspeth is doing while sitting in the park.
So once she's pretty much pulled herself together, she's gonna go, I need you out of my head, and I need you out of my head now. So let's get this done, and she'll cast Major Image. And she will bring up the image of Jackson. And to start with, she's just gonna leave him standing there. And she's just gonna stare at him and make sure she doesn't fucking freak out at him.
You just approach. And slowly start to circle around her as he done before.
You know I won, right? I'm alive, you're dead. Or as far as I'm aware, you're dead anyway.
Just continues to walk around.
I so wish I knew where your cane was. I would smash that into 1,000 pieces.
He almost looks as if almost a smirk almost appears on his face. I think the only thing that's broken around here, he just stops, leans in a little bit closer and goes, it's you.
I don't know, I think you're fairly broken as well. It's not exactly normal for a man to hide in a basement with shadow figures and torture people. I'm sure you didn't start out that way. I can't imagine Jackson as a child torturing people. So something must have broke to send you that way. Maybe that's why you don't like people like me. You don't like looking in a mirror.
I had my eyes opened and I saw and realized things that you and your ilk would never understand.
Like what?
Continue to circle around. So I will have to make one little observation here. This time you ran away and left the others. After once again, you couldn't handle what was going on, could you? Something I best you'll probably adapt it. Situation gets a little bit too tough or not going your way, you turn tail and run, or you try to have others band together and do it for you. Neither approach has quite worked, has it?
I don't know. I'd still like to point out that I'm alive.
Are you sure? And the silhouette of the king kind of just like points, he just goes, because I don't think in there. And you just kind of, but like just, you can even feel the illusion just kind of like tap on the chest, just like, because I don't think in there's quite right, is it?
In there works perfectly fine. It's up here, and she'll point to her head, that needs sorting because I need you out of there.
Kane returns to where it was initially positioned, where he just stands there with both hands just gently resting on the top of it.
You almost convinced me. Almost, you were very, very close to convincing me that I was nothing and that I wasn't worth anything and that there was no one coming for me. Almost, you were so close. And I wonder how many of those people that you buried in your graveyard that we've now found and I have names for because they will be remembered long after you're forgotten. I wonder how many of them you sent to their grave thinking that they were nothing and they were useless and worthless and not loved and not cared for.
You just continue to start walking around. So tell me, when exactly did you come to that little conclusion that you were actually still worth anything when not even days, not even a week after your little escapade, did your friends once again rush off and leave you standing on your own because they found something better to do? And is it not? Are you really so used to the fact that people just get up and leave at their own vocation that you can't feel that certain inclination that you really are just a thing, not even a person, an object? But then again, you play off that quite a lot, wouldn't you? As your form of vocation and manner of living, all too abruptly point to wall. I believe, Elspeth, that as much as you would like to try and convince everyone else, you're not fooling anyone. Especially not me. And especially not yourself.
I don't need to convince myself. Doesn't matter what I think. But there's people out there that think I'm worth something, so they must see something. There's 5 people that came rushing into danger to get me. One of them came by himself and stood there and dealt with you and almost died doing it, so I must be worth something to someone, somewhere. Even if I don't think I'm worth anything to myself. I've spent 160 years living with the fact that I don't think I'm worth anything. If I was going to do something about it, I'd have done it by now. I tried, in fact. That's what the drinking was about, as I'm sure you're aware. But I think actually I finally found something worth living for. So maybe the self-worth will come at a later time.
You can keep telling yourself that, Elspeth, but I know better. And soon, I'm sure, that revelation will come to you. If you wish to indulge in this little delusion of yours, you can just gesture his hand out towards the kind of open curtains. feel free. And when reality comes crashing down, just know I'll be there watching it. And the image will just gone as the end of 10 minutes have passed since you cast.
Cool. She will take a couple of minutes to just sort of stand and compose herself. And then probably start leaving the wooded area to walk back to the tavern that they're in last she checked.
Cool. As you're heading back, the park's fairly quiet, save for a few passers-by who are just going about their business. Very uneventful and quiet. There's a solemn walk back. Cloud familiars. If Traz can roll me for perception for one of the Tristums, just any old.
Just a second. Trying to find the modifier. So that would be a 12.
Well, Tristums are all looking around and have yet to locate Elspeth. They're trying, but it's a big city. Back in the tavern as coffee is getting huckled out by the class. A few onlookers kind of turn back, look as if they're about to say something. Then, after a few sharp looks from class members and Benjamin Cassidy himself, even kind of going, "Y'all seen nothing here? What?" And everyone just carries on about the same. Once coffee's been huckled out into the street into a nearby carriage, dumped in the back of it unceremoniously. Anything at all from Copy?
My sparrow's around, correct? Because it wasn't dismissed at all. She'll know where to find Harold, so she'll just go look for Harold. And I just hope when Harold gets it, then certain events kick in.
Cool. Say the sparrows flew off, and we'll see what happens with it. Tom, as you're getting your laced up war paint all ready to go with the polish and a few other nonsensical things getting ready for this ritual you're going to try and cast. You've got Doc Martin and Sandell also participating in preparations. One of which has got like a ceremonial drum and it's hitting it with a giant like shoehorn, just like to a certain beat. Everyone in the tavern's just looking at it going, "This is a really weird thing going on with these goblins," but they're not harming anybody, so as long as they keep to themselves, we'll just sidestep them all and carry on about our day.
Yeah, as kind of Doc Martin kind of bangs the drum with the shoehorn, Tom and Sandow would just like slap two flip flops together. Yeah, we'll start making our way outside, kind of making like a ceremonial, almost like Wicker Man style ritual, but with the shoe atop just a big pile of other shoes, with the Crocs like at the precipice of this pyramid of shoes.
Yeah, you start to assemble this little pile of just like makeshift shoes in an overall shape of a footprint. And
Yeah.
it kind of builds up gradually in height to where the actual foot would go into where the shoe is, and just like and the Crocs are just sitting on top. You guys are all just kind of going about, you just like saying prayers to Saint Ubbins.
Yeah, all three of them invoke duplicity as well to try and double the numbers. So there'll be two Toms, two Doc Martens, two Sandows, all kind of doing like ceremonial chants and stuff.
You even gets to a point where you see there's like a brief flicker of light illuminating the Crocs, indicating that whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because whatever's happening is happening.
Yeah, they're just kind of just dancing around it, doing like a almost like a tribal version of like like these boots are made for walking and shit like that. Like, and then just doing like a tribal chant version of that. Kind of building it up, getting kind of more aggressive as it goes on, as the six of them kind of dance around it. And then just kind of just come to a halt, like an abrupt ending, and just all kind of drop to their knees and just start kind of whispering to St. Hubbins as just letting them know that this is it. This is a gift and it's a tribute to St. Hubbins.
So that will carry on for a little while. Cloud, as you're making your way through the city, your familiars all searching and searching. You'll get a message from Kai saying, "The cloak you just dropped off is ready."
I respond just saying, what time of day is it, actually?
It would be early evening at this point.
He'll just respond with a little bit busy at the minute. If I can make it in a bit, I will. If not, I'll pick up in the morning.
Take your time. Take your time. And if you'd like to use another perception check on behalf of the on behalf of the Tristram, by all means.
Natural one. 6.
Okay. As one of the Tristrams in particular is like almost think it's got like a track or something. It kind of wanders down an alleyway and you're like always just switching views between them all to see when they're all are just like almost like a personal like surveillance network as you're wandering the streets of Ramon. So eventually one of the Tristrams thinks it sees something in a nearby sewage grate. Goes towards it. Goes closer. It's suddenly this little rubber object, or little red rubber object with a string attached to it, comes out of the sewer grate. And the cat just goes, nope, and fucks off in the other direction and bamps out of existence. So that's one.
One of them doesn't go like chasing after a little sparrow or something, does it?
Yeah, so that one particular Tristan just went, nope, this shit, fuck up. If you yourself would like to try perception to try and find Elspeth or evidence to where she might have gone.
Oh yeah, 26.
Your feline eye seeing a distance, you just happen to go overlook a fence somewhere and see in a distance in the park, just walking out with her usual stride is Elspeth.
Seeing her just sort of walking out a bit calmer and such. Cloud will shadow her for a while and just get one of her Trissums to come over and fly over to her and land nearby her to see what she does.
Do I
Tristan comes in.
do I recognise the Tristram?
All of his Trissums are pretty much the same markings as him. All the black jaguar markings.
Yeah, but is this the one she's named or not?
This is true. And double checking, I forgot I'm warlock, so I have to cast my spells at the highest level. So technically, now one's buggered off. There's 4 of them out there, but there was 5. But how can you tell though? That's the question.
She'll look at it and go, Lucius?
He'll come up and start like walking between your legs in a figure of 8.
You're gonna trip me up if you do that, sweetheart. Probably best on my shoulder.
Hops up onto your shoulder.
I'll go to it. I kind of worried him, didn't I?
Sort of just nods its head.
Whoops. I didn't mean to. I made a choice of which battle to fight in my head. I think I made the right choice, but I don't know if he'll understand.
It's sort of, on saying that, it sort of like taps the side of your head, like beating away at something. You get the feeling it might be like it helping you with your battle in your head.
I will pat him on the head and go, thank you very much for the help. One of them I've been fighting a very long time every time I enter a tavern. The other one was a fairly new one. But I think I'm doing okay now. We shall see. Should we go find them? You gonna lead me to where they are?
It nods and sort of just noses down the road. Cloud will then sort of follow a little ways and then swing round and meet her sort of like a couple of blocks down with the rest of the Trissums. Just this 6'6" cat man with 3 other flying cats around him. Nothing strange about that at all.
She's gonna look at you weirdly and go, did Aloysius have children? What happened?
You've seen the trick before. Summoning extra creatures definitely comes in handy. And he'll wave his hand and the 3 around him will vanish, just sort of turn into weirdly just sparkle a little bit and turn into sort of like leaves and stuff and blow away with the wind. And then Lucian will just be the same one sitting on your shoulders.
I did get it right. That's good to know.
So are you feeling a bit better, or is there something I can help you with?
I'm feeling better at the moment. I apologise, I didn't mean to worry you. I knew it was going to be bad, I just didn't realise it was going to be that bad. I'm not like Toto, where Toto gets to go, I have a problem with gambling, let's not go to a casino. I don't get that option. I don't get to go, I have a problem with alcohol, let's not go to a tavern. Normally the fight is okay, because it's just that's the only one I'm fighting. However, walking into the tavern, obviously, he was the other fight I was fighting, and I chose to succeed at the not drinking myself into oblivion, and fail at the not having myself tied back down to a table. So I apologise.
Nothing to apologise for. The memories are a fight you may need to deal with, but the reality is he's done. We killed him. He's no more, and you are. You are with your friends and everybody who cares for you. Eric is gone to look for Trevi. We didn't think it would be a good idea for multiples of us to be running all over the city, and especially with Trevi being the way she is. Best option, and plus I had extra eyes on my side. But if you're feeling up to it, I'm pretty sure there's an interesting sight happening a little ways from here. Tom was talking about a ritual with his friends with the shoe. I'm not exactly sure what's about to happen, but might be interesting nonetheless.
Sounds like it could be fun. I'm up for that. Let's go. And she will hold out her hand to him.
Clara will take her by the hand and head to find Tom and his little ritual site, and probably walk around the corner seeing that there's 6 goblins now. And go, fucking hell, they multiply like rabbits.
The addition to, as Tom and company are all doing their ritualistic things, is that as they're doing a little tribal chant, they've now got a backing track courtesy of the bard that was been playing. He's like, you know what, I quite like this tune. He starts playing it on his harp. Just because he's bored out of his mind, there's now finding amusement in between these sets of these goblins just doing their thing with this mountain of shoes that they're building up. Meanwhile, we're going to find out where Copy has been taken to a little secluded area in the kind of area not too far away from where the Ivory Church was. Doors open. They get pulled out. And there's a little group of 4 people ahead of them. 3 of them in unmarked clothes, just very inconspicuous. Nothing stands out particularly. Them just look like normal citizens. But they are standing in a kind of half point formation with someone behind them. And the person who's behind just says, "Did you bring them?" To which Benjamin will tug at Copy and say, "Yeah, we got your runaway." Or what was it? Protege. I can't remember what the word was. Protege would have been the word, as the old man replied. And with a hand motion, the other plainclothed individuals will step back. And standing before you, just as you remember him, is Harold.
Am I at all allowed? Am I able to move, or am I just like completely bound?
Completely bound.
But standing up or lying flat?
Standing up.
I'll just look at him and just kind of. I want to look at him and see if I can see any rope marks on his neck.
Make a perception check.
This is going to be the interesting. I hope I do. Dirty 20.
There are no rope marks around his neck.
I'll just look at him and say, how?
He'll reach into his back pocket, pull out a little satchel, and places it in Benjamin's hand. Benjamin will open it up, inspect it, its contents, ties up the bag again, puts his hand to the old man and says, "Pleasure doing business with you." Which Hal will just kind of gently nod and say, "No, I believe we can take it from here. You and your associates may leave at your location," at which point Benjamin kind of crosses his arm and goes, "So what are you going to do with him, mouthy little bitch?" And you just quietly turn his head towards Copy. And then back at Benjamin and he goes, "Second thought. Oh, I'd rather keep it a surprise. Good day." And he'll just signal to the other class members to mount the carriage and just start driving away.
I saw you die. I saw you hanging there. I left you hanging there.
Roman's not fazed by your remark. His associates just kind of stand there, just like staring at you with an almost not quite look of like disdain, but they're not really pleased when they look at you.
Do what you will. My trust in people, whatever little, has gone. I think perhaps you were right in that regard. But do make it quick. And I'll close my eyes and wait to see what happens.
Seconds turn to minute. And initially, nothing. A few more minutes go by. Nothing.
I'll open my eyes, I guess.
The associates have gone, and it's just Harold standing there.
Say something. You know I've always hated the quiet.
Not a peep. Just stands there as if he's part of the scenery.
I don't know what you want me to say. If you want me to say sorry, I'm not going to say sorry. But if you want, or if you let me, not even if you want, I do want to finish our little, well, the training. I've got a bit of a list that have done me wrong. And to be fair, there isn't anyone better than me to take over from you. You are, after all, the best in the business. Or at least that's what I tell everyone. Is he still not talking?
Slowly but surely he'll approach.
Finally. Do what you must.
At which point his associates come back, seemingly out of nowhere, just kind of peering into view. Like a old Royal Marine advert where they kind of go, "How many people in this picture?" Snap your fingers and then they all just appear. One of them pulls out a almost like a water skin, but it's got really bizarre markings all over it. Pulls the out of it and starts to pour a circle of some strange fluid around you and Harold.
Do I recognize this at all? Has he done this before?
You've never seen this before?
I see he picked up some new skills. Should have anticipated as much.
You can almost just see like a very subtle eye roll go off expression.
Hey, I always told you I was a bit of a talker. Isn't that what you taught me? Keep talking to distract your enemies. So they listen to you but don't see what you do behind your back. Gotta admit, I was a good learner. Although I started when I was 3. Well, no, started much younger. I can remember from 3.
Says nothing, just keeps staring you right in the face in the middle of this circle that's just been pouring on the ground. Just lets you run your mouth.
I've said my piece, I'm just gonna keep quiet.
His hand will go into his long sleeves. And you'll pull out a piece of parchment and a quill. One of the others will come over and loosen your bonds. And you'll hand you the parchment and the quill.
Yes. Is this meant to be for my lost will and testament? I'll take them. I'll just write a quick sorry on it, and sign it with CC. Take the locket off. Wrap it up in the parchment. I'm done. I can use my bird to send this parchment if you want, but I don't know what you intend to do.
Hand comes out outstretched.
I'll give him the parchment with the locket. You should know who I want this to go to. And then I'm all yours. If you want to continue my training so that I eventually take your position, or if you want to kill me, that's completely up to you. And I'll kind of spread my arms out and close my eyes, just wait for whatever happens next.
As all the acolytes kind of just stand around, one of them opens up a hand, and Harold will just reach over with the locket and the note and just place it in their hand. As the circle on the ground starts to kind of glow faintly, you see Harold's eyes kind of just start to sink. Puts both his hands on your face. And with this horrible sort of this black mash just comes out of his mouth. It starts to force itself down your neck.
If it's painful, I'll scream. Otherwise, I'll just kind of, again, accept it as it is.
Well, you try and scream, but there's no. You just garble against this mass that's just forcing itself down your throat, and you can just feel it start to claw at the insides. Eventually, your senses start to go numb. Vision starts to blur, and everything goes black for a second. And your vision starts to slowly come back to, and you can still see Harold holding onto your face. And you see a frightened old man in front of you. For a few seconds at least, before you feel your own hand just instinctively reach out. One of the acolytes hands over a dagger, and you just plunge it into Harold's neck. Pull it out, and the body falls flat.
What's it feel like? Does it feel like myself? Am I stronger? Am I weaker?
You feel like you're looking not through your own eyes, but you're looking through what was your eyes and now just like a window.
So out of character, he's basically taking control of my body.
Yes.
Can I at least communicate with him in here? Can I say anything?
What would you say? Having this all just happened in the space of a few seconds.
I wouldn't. I don't know what to say. I'll just be stunned, I guess.
You feel these very long, spindly fingers just claw at your face and turn you around, and you see this horridly face stretched over a mannequin. Just look at you and kind of go, "Harold served his purpose. Now it's your turn, darling." Now, if you won't mind, and you suddenly feel like you're being pulled into just like a void of black, and just suddenly any motion of like limbs that you had have just now been strapped to you. Good. As this thing now starts to kind of sit where your think of it where your vision would be is like an actual visor, and it's now sitting in front and going, "Allow me to take charge." And it just starts as it starts moving its arms. You can see what would have been formed through your own eyes. You can just see the hands start to move as it gets to adjust to its new body. Shapeshifter was always my preference, anyway.
I'll ask just one question to this creature or whatever. Who are you?
It will get up for a second, turn back to you, start approaching, and then it will just stuff its hand in your mouth, and as it turns, it just does a whole sort of like, "Shh, you had your chance. No more talking." And it'll just like, you almost feel bark like with the hand in your mouth, and it slowly pulls it out and goes back to sitting where the vision port thing in your mind would be. You're now literally in the backseat driver now. Something else has just took over Copy's body.
That is both freakish but amazing. I can't wait to see what happens.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, for the time being, will be the curtain call for this little chapter of Copy's existence. Back to the party. So everyone's all regaled back at the tavern, with the exceptions of Trevi and Elliot, who are playing hide and seek in the mon right now, essentially. And this ritual thing that Tom, Doc Martin, and Sandel seems to be causing the pile of shoes that is in the Galatea to almost glow. Do they wish to do anything?
Yeah, they just keep doing their ritual, and then they just stop and pray for a bit, and I guess they don't. Not even they really know what to expect. They've been on this pilgrimage for a while, so it's kind of just waiting to see what happens. Really, they just keep repeating the process until something happens.
the glowing pair of shoes starts to kind of reverberate and goes. When we get to the third one, it just stops. And the Crocs almost shake a little bit and then start walking down the pile on their own.
Tom will probably just look up, kind of in awe, and just shout to his fellow shoe clerics. Just say, he has arrived. St. Hubbins is here.
The others are just like awestruck, just like jaw almost hitting the floor kind of thing. Barely able to like string two words together, and just like gibbering to each other in Goblin, which Tom can just get as like, he's here, St. Hubbins, just like create this like crazily back and forth.
Tom will probably kind of take the lead and like address St. Hubbins directly and just say our Lord and Savior, the St. Hubbins, the patron saint of quality footwear. We gift these majestic Crocs to you in your name. We've searched high and low for these shoes that you have asked us to find. What do you seek? What more can we do for you, St. Hubbins? He would just be like shouting it real loud up to the heavens.
For a moment, doesn't seem to be much. As we're waiting to see what the epic finale of this bizarre as fuck ritual is going to be. What are Claude and Elspeth getting up to?
I think we're just sort of, because he's doing the ritual, it's sort of like in the back area, sort of like outside the tavern or something.
Was that sorry?
Tom's doing the ritual sort of outside, out the back of the tavern, correct?
Yeah.
Knowing obviously Elsbeth struggling with the tavern and such, Kat will probably take her around the back and probably just sit on the opposite side from the tavern, but sort of sat watching Tom once they get back. A little bit confused or weirded out. Sorry.
Elspeth will probably stay as close to Cloud as she can without, like, physically sitting on his lap. And she'll be mildly impressed at the other bard playing along with their random nonsense. Does it look like it'll go on for a while when they arrive?
It looks like it's approaching some sort of crescendo, but it could be within minutes, it could be within the hour.
Okay, so she'll probably pull out one of her threads and just sort of slowly start humming to the tune that everyone else is playing and chanting. and try and enchant one of the threads as she stood there. But other than that, she'll just sort of watch.
Yeah, as you're prepping your threads, just carrying on as you know we would do with the threads. It would appear that something else is now happening with the shoes. It's almost as if there's an entity appearing wearing said shoes. At which point, the bard in the corner stops playing on the harp and switches instrument to his I can't remember my instruments now. What other instruments the bards have? Not the guitar, but you know the one I'm talking about. It's kind of like the lute kind of looking thing.
Lute, lyre,
Right.
flute. Trying to think what else.
The total brain fart here, guys. Give me a second.
Banjo. It has to be a banjo.
The lute, yeah. I'm gonna go with that.
I'm just gonna very quickly flash Discord on the stream so they can see all these stupid memes.
They never fail to amuse.
What is all this right now?
It's like trying to describe what's going on in your D&D game with memes only. This is. I just can't get over this. But yeah, so this figure would appear. Very tall man, almost human, pretty much humanoid, with a little patch of, not a real much of a beard, but a small little patch on his chin. Kind of black suit. Doesn't look too much of a case of out of control right now. And then you see his hat forms above him. And the boots that he wears look like kind of cowboy western boots superimposed over the Crocs. Just as the bar starts playing, he goes, says, I am a representative of St. Albans. My name is Ted. And he signs his thanks.
At the same time, they'll all say, praise Ted.
And as you're saying, as the others kind of going, praise Ted. Ted is born with St. Albans. And just start, kind of like bowing before him. There's a moment when he turns and you almost see like wild, bushy hair behind him just appear briefly. He's like, no need, no need. St. Albans will only wish to give you seal of approval, my boys. You've done very well. But please, stop being little noisy bastards. Come on and get to kind of just gesture for you to all to stand up.
Yeah, just kind of look around at each other and stand up. Kind of still looking in awe.
But sorry, I'm got a little side tab here, just out a game that trying to help me with what's going on here. And the more I'm reading this, the more I'm like, what? Oh god! If we happen to have anyone in America who happens to like Ted Nugent, I'm going to have to ask you why. But anyway, so Ted here is just anyway. He's going to say, "Go, St. Albans will now bestow upon you all a bountiful boom for bringing these awesome." And he kind of looks at the shoes and goes, "Wait, what the?" He looks down, almost confused as his own image just kind of like disappears for a moment, and he sees the Crocs. He goes, "What the flying fuck are these?" And he looks up to the sky himself and goes, "Are you sure?" You see a nearby cloud formation form like a thumbs up briefly and disappears. Alright, mate, you're the boss. Patron Saint my ass. Okay, right. So you, and you pointing to the real Tom, Doc Martin, and Sandel. Says, I guess you've done good job. So here, whatever, and just like this flash of like radiant energy comes out. Almost blinding everyone in the immediate vicinity for a brief second. And 2 seconds later, everyone's vision restored. The Crocs are gone. The pile of shoes is also gone. Anyone?
Just kind of looking around like this never happened before. I mean, one or two, but all of the shoes. This is incredible. Do I feel any different?
You feel strange. You go take a step forward and you feel your feet are different than usual. You look down, and there's a absolute bitching pair of like rocker boots, just like where there was simple footwear before. Sandel's got a mass. Has got like an awesome pair of sandals on, like godly crafted sandals that he's just like in awe when he's looking. And Doc Martin's just got a pair of boots, and you can't tell with a straight face, but behind that sullen expression, he's fucking ecstatic right now.
Tom will kind of look at the other two and shed a little tear, I think. Just kind of say, I guess this makes us the top tier, the top shoe boys, archbishops of the Church of St. Hubbins.
As you're saying that, suddenly robes appear on Tom's shoulders. and he's now wearing a cap that's like a shoehorn, been ornamentally crafted into essentially not a Pope's hat, but that's pretty much the image. If you can kind of make that connection right there.
Oh yeah, I'm digging it. Tom's just kind of just feeling the ropes. Just yeah, kind of look round, see Cloud and Elspeth, and give them like a really excited thumbs up.
How did
Cloud
Cloud and Elspeth actually react to all this fuckery that's going on? Is this just like a normal Monday afternoon where there's like, yeah, we've seen all this shit before. You've literally just seen a trio of goblins give away a pair of Crocs and get visited by Ted.
I don't know what Elsbeth does, but Cloud's sort of like he's seen some weird shit in the last couple of months. This is probably up there with the top stuff, so he's sort of like, what the fuck's just happened? But at the same time, he's like, yeah, gives a thumbs up back and like, well done, maybe? I don't know.
Elspeth will smile at Tom and just sort of give him a wink, and then is like in her head, "Oh Jesus, what the hell is this?"
Tom will probably come over if the ritual's finished. In his new fucking sick Pope robes, and he'll just be like, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry you won't get your friend's shoes back, but did you see that shit? That was awesome. I told you he was real. Nobody ever believes me, but you believe me now, right?"
We believed you beforehand anyway. So, but Tom, and congratulations, fancy new duds.
Tom will he'll just bow his head slightly and just say, "No, thank you, my child."
I'll sort of look awkwardly at Elsbeth as like in her head she'll just hear, isn't he something like 10 years old or something?
I think you might be even younger than that.
Elspeth will go, "I'm pretty sure." Back in her head, back in to Cloud's head, she'll go, "I'm pretty sure age doesn't mean maturity, so maybe he's mentally older than you are." and giggle and go, "I think you've done very well. I'm very impressed. And what do you do now?"
I'd like to point out that now Tom is now proficient in cobbler's tools. If they're not a thing, they are now.
Yes.
And you also have access to a new spell called Fancy Footwear, where for the price of 25 gold pieces and whatever material that you can get your hands on, you can craft one pair of the most bitchin' shoes you can come up with on the spot with the materials at hand and the blessing of St. Albans.
Oh, yes.
Oh, great. Give it a year or so and it'll be Tom's fine footwears of St. Hubbins Church and Shop.
Ah,
What are you trying to do?
I'm adding the cobbler's tools, but I kept clicking the word other by accident. And I didn't have the sound on. I didn't realise it was sending it to. Otherwise, I'll forget.
On a side note, my cat is really starting to freak me out. She keeps staring at one part of the room and just meowing at it.
Ghosts.
Yeah, that's a ghost.
Throw a shoe at it and say, by St. Hubbins, I demand you leave.
The power of Saint Hubbins compelled you.
No, dear. Cloud sort of just, yeah, very confused about everything, and it's been a long afternoon. And he sort of thinks to himself, we have days that are very long at times. A lot of shit happens in such a short period of time. He sort of just like leans back against Elizabeth a little bit.
Also, to answer your previous question, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do now. I think I might just start making some shoes. You know, just doing the Lord's work.
Well, just an idea. A safe space, but do the same thing. Two things in one place. A church and a shop in one. People can come and praise to Hubbins, and you can sell really cool shoes.
Two birds, one stone. Two birds, one shoe. I like it.
Exactly. Not only do you make the shoes there, you can praise to your patron saint while you're making the shoes in his house of holiness.
You're right. It's gonna have to be my next step. I'm gonna have to start fundraising for the Church of St. Hubbins.
Well, how about while you do that, you stick with us for a little bit? You can fundraise, well, with us.
You make some good pee?
I make some good what?
You know, pee. The moolah.
The Daka, the Skrilla.
The greenbacks.
She's gonna look at you two and just shake her head and go, whatever language you're speaking, I don't think I understand it.
I think it's undercommon. I mean, money. Do you make good money doing what you're doing?
Tend to?
Then count me in. You have the power of St. Hubbins on your side.
Just what we need. Definitely what we need. Need the power of someone on our side, at least.
Cloud sort of gives you a funny look, like, why might I chop liver?
Sorry, I should have been more specific. We need the power of someone we actually know on our side.
So, that's fair. That's fair.
Your powers aren't from a god, are they? I can tell.
Mine? No.
No, his.
Oh.
Points at Cloud.
And how would you know that?
He just gestures to his pope robes. Like, I'm a fucking pope.
That's that's fair enough. That's quite possible.
Well, where do they come from?
My staff.
Your staff gives you the powers.
Yep.
That just sounds absolutely mental. almost like an unbelievable religion that some absolute madman would make up.
Yes, it does.
I don't believe it for a second. But
Cloud will
Look,
summon the
look,
blade staff.
well, it's no magic crocs, but it's pretty impressive. I dig it.
Cloud will like show you the end with the orb in it, and say, "This has got a pretty flower." And you'll see the little flower in the orb holding a pendant in it.
While those two are comparing weapon sizes, I'm gonna walk over to the other bard.
You finishes the few chords on the lute, and the last one just as the whole ritual thing came to an end. It was like almost like a power chord. It was like, and like arcane energy kind of shrinks off it as like hair gets blown back, and then after that, just kind of goes, "That was fun," and puts the lute down, and then sees you approach.
That was pretty good for making it up on the spot.
He just kind of shrugs and goes, "When inspiration hits."
I'm Elspeth, and she'll put her hand out.
You take it by the hand and kiss on the back of on the back of it, and say, "Darius, lovely to meet you."
Same to you. I don't get to meet very many people with the same kind of talents as myself, by the looks of it.
Yeah, raising eyebrows. So you can improvise to a bunch of goblins worshipping shoes? That I would like to see. And kind of just leans back in his chair with the arms crossed, just like, mm-hmm.
I've improvised in some very strange spots. I can't improvise right now, they've stopped.
He just smirks and pulls a chair over and goes, "Have a seat."
She will sit down. So, what instrument would you like me to try and improvise on?
Lady's choice. For the first round, anyway.
I don't think you should ever give the lady the first choice, but okay. Let me find out what instrument she's actually proficient with, because I don't remember. She will pull out her flute to start with.
Cool. So, you pull out your flute, and you start to just improvise just a random tune. Make me a performance check.
Cool. And I get to add my circlet, because it is using a magical instrument. A musical instrument. So a 19.
You're doing pretty well for just like, okay, what can I just randomly pull together, and the notes are coherent. Quite a lovely tune. Passers by take notice. And Darius seems impressed.
I believe that would now be your turn.
My turn. How about you pick the instrument? I currently have my harp, lute, and this little thing I picked up in my travels, and he pulls out a small little metallic object.
Do I recognise the small little metallic object?
You normally associate this sort of thing as just someone sitting quietly at the end of a bar, just kind of just playing sort of really melancholic, but also quite surprisingly upbeat tunes from. I think someone called it a harmonica or hammock or something like along those lines.
I will go. Considering the only time I've ever seen one of these played is by drunk men in a bar, I'd like to see you make it actually sound semi-decent, so let's go for that.
As well, the one I'm least practice with. Very well, and we proceed to play the harmonica. Yep. So as you think, okay, we'll play like drunken arseholes play this and never make it sound good, and yet he just came out and go, "Oh, what this little thing? Let me try," and just plays it like a professional. Just goes back and forth, tunes go, but puts it down and then just kind of just sits with his arm and his head against one of his arms and just kind of goes, "Well,
I will concede the victory to you. Graciously, of course."
At that point, you'll stand up and kind of do like a curtsy. It's like, "Thank you." Not to brag, but it's a gift. One that I'm sure we both share.
Maybe, potentially.
Shall we make it best out of 3?
I know when to retire when I'm losing, so I will pass. It has been a very long day. But next time I see you, we'll carry it on. Hopefully I'll have got better by then.
I look forward to it. And he will just lean back in his chair and just chill out and just enjoy the absolute clusterfuck that's been happening for the last hour and a bit.
I will get back up and go back over to Cloud.
You ready to go head home?
Are we not staying here this evening?
Did not believe you would wish to.
I can't avoid it forever. I need to get over it, I believe is the word. Plus, I don't think I'm too welcome at home at the moment, so...
If you believe so. I will sort out some rooms, and Claire will head inside and pay for a room for the night.
You'll get a message. Don't forget one for Tom.
I'm pretty sure Tom's already got one. Unless I'm incorrect.
Does Tom already have a room, Sam?
He's been staying in one. I don't know if he's paid for it, but he's staying in.
You were staying in with Trevi, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, you're right. I might just take Copy's room.
There you go.
With the door that's been broken into shreds.
Yeah, that's right. He's used to sleep on the streets.
Give him like half an hour. He'll probably make a shoe door.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
Or he'll just put his giant's flip flop up against the door.
Yeah, you will. Just barricade it with this giant flip flop. Proper shoehorn up against it. Job done. Tom will come and see you again before you go to sleep and just say, oh, it all happened so quickly, but sorry about your friend that I had to tell you all that stuff. But you guys have been so nice to me, and your friend was really mean behind your back. So I'm sorry um that I did that thing.
Who's he talking to?
Cloud and Elspeth, I guess. Just up before you guys go anywhere.
No, as I said, thank you for that. She was on thin ice as it is, and couldn't properly be trusted, and someone needed to prove which side of the fence she stood on, and I appreciate it.
I didn't want to overstep my mark. And only you a couple of days, but you done me a favour, so I thought I'd do you a favour. Also, I don't know if I took it too far, you know, inflicting them wounds.
Well, from the looks of the place, she didn't. I doubt she died, so.
That's a shame.
But I'll sort some stuff out and deal with that problem. Oh, hopefully that problem won't be needed. We won't need to deal with that problem anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll take that room if it's going spare, and yeah, I'll take that one.
I feel like I missed a lot when I wasn't here.
Come, and Claire will lead you up to the room and then fill you in on what happened with Copy and everything. Obviously, what Tom told us about what she did at Toto's brother's establishment, and then what happened with Eric disintegrating a door, Cloud losing his temper and cutting her up a bit, and then Tom just going, Duke and fuck you. And then Cloud picking up. No, Tom picked up the equipment she put down, I think.
Yeah, probably would have given that back to you, but already.
Right, that's fair enough. Cloud would have put it in. Probably would have put it in his haversack or something.
Okay, so I did miss a lot. Well, I guess that's a bad judgment of people there.
Oh, she didn't exactly help herself, and then betraying a possible job and such did not. Oh, I feel it put the nail in the coffin.
Agreed. She could have got us all killed.
Exactly. Last thing we needed her informing them that we were coming and then telling them to not kill her, but us all getting ambushed would not be a suitable conclusion to our story.
No, most likely not. I don't know what is going on with our little group at the moment, but we gain some people that seem to fit in perfectly and others last about 2 moments.
Cloud will take you by the hand and say, no matter what happens, which way things blow and what circumstances happen, I will always be where I will always be by your side when you need me. Just all you have to do is say.
And I will always be by your side if you need me or when you want me.
And Cloud will give her a kiss.
On the kiss ending, Elspeth will go, I realised a couple of days ago that something I did the night Jackson had me didn't get to where I needed it to go. You'll be amazed what broken fingers can do when you think you're about to not exist anymore. I managed to send a message, but from what I've learnt of where I was, it didn't reach its target. So I'm going to resend it and make sure this time it does reach its target. And so you'll watch her cast message and she'll hold it for a second, kiss you again, and then resend the message she sent when Jackson had her. So there are 4 letters in my bag. Please make sure they're read. And I'm very sorry that I am saying this now, but I do believe I love you.
Cloud will just smile and take your hands and pull you properly into an embrace and kiss you and whisper it. And I love you.
She will hug you very hard and then go, and on that note, shall we go to bed?
I will nod and go to bed.
That was some wholesome shit. Yeah, so we'll call that for that evening. everything. It's a nice, quiet night's rest for everybody. Tom's now an Archbishop of St. Albans.
Woot.
Just still trying to process this mental fuckery that we've just went through here.
I hope he gets one of those little, the things they drive the Pope around in, that little glass cage.
The Pope Mobile.
Yeah.
Your courage awaits, sir.
Oh,
Or
what is it that you got?
Pope.
The what's the spell that you can make a sphere around someone? Basically a force field.
Oatluke's resilience sphere.
There you go. There you go, Sam. That's all you need. Turn yourself into, put that on yourself, and you just start rolling around.
Sick. I will not be assassinated.
When Elspeth wakes up after her 4 hours of sleep, she's going to gently leave the bed and try very hard to get the last 3 strings enchanted of the project she's been working on.
You know what? Roll me an Arcana check to get the last 3 done in one go.
Oh, ignore the +2, I forgot to turn it off. But 16.
Only one left. You get 2 of them done.
Cool.
Anything else you want to do in the morning before the others awake?
No, she is not brave enough to walk down the stairs of the tavern by herself right now.
Cool.
Is that what Tom does for most of the night? Just sit there staring at the new shoes.
Yeah, that's him getting ready in his room in the morning to come down for some scraps for breakfast.
I've just flashed it on the stream again.
We went from Dirty Delta to don't know what the fuck's happening, Delta.
I really do hope the other groups look in our chat are like, what the fuck?
Haven't you had any like admins or anything just go, what the fuck's going on in that group?
Not yet. I hope so soon.
None of them? Really?
Have any of the DMs gone to you, Scott, and asked you what the fuck's going on?
No, I actually feel kind of insulted, you know?
Some of the stuff we put on here is like, some things like really fucked up, and other things just disturbed as well.
Someone will just colossal. You know what? Actually, some of the conversations that happen in other groups just because of the setting thing, right? Okay, stream, give us a second to get this out of the way. They're all boring as fuck. Can we just get that straight? You know, they all say like, "Oh yeah, we're like when we play, when that," and that's all they do. Whereas at least with Delta, you get a little bit of variety. We talk some about a shite 1 minute, then we talk some practical stuff.
Then we just fill a ton of it with memes.
Memes galore, you know what I mean?
Foss will be so pleased we've carried this on when he's not here.
See, I thought Golf's chat was going to be lit because fucking their DMs always got the memes, but nope, boring as fuck.
Because I have to give Foth that one thing. He's a fucking fast shooter when it comes to memes. He's like straight on it.
He is a meme cleric.
Note to self: make that a subclass. Just for the shits and giggles.
I'd have to say the meme would have to be Bard. Not, I don't think cleric. I'd think it'd be Bard.
That. I did play a meme bard once. I printed loads of memes off, like in real life, and then handed them out for inspiration.
Oh,
Oh, that's awesome.
I need to get better at my inspiration game.
Anywho, let's return back to Taldori and the mess that we've left in. We're fucking all this nonsense about shoes. Oh, amazing.
I'm sorry I broke your game.
No, it's fine. It's just the fact that, can I just make a side note? Again, I'm probably going to get a karma bitch slap for this, but Ted Nugent's a dick. I did a little quick notice, like, oh yeah, like St. Albans is best for Ted Nugent. When am I going to have a look at some stuff just kind of add in the game? And I just looked at it and went, I'm not doing any of this. Nope.
That's fair.
Oh, I was like, based on the, what an arsehole. No. Just no. So yeah, sorry, Ted was a bit of a just like placeholder, but back on with the game. So everyone eventually coming downstairs. Tom once again is initially feeding on scraps until one of the waitresses comes over and he goes, okay, we're going to need to put a stop to this, sir.
Pardon?
If you're wanting food, you can order at the bar or, stop eating the leftovers from other people's things.
What do you normally do with the leftovers?
They normally go either but the pits outside or they get made into compost down for one of the druids down the road.
Alright, well, if I just sit outside and wait for them, then can I have them?
You give a persuasion check. $22. Where just kind of goes, I suppose if once they leave the place, I don't really give two shit. So, yeah, if you want to wait outside for them, then by all means, just kind of roll their eyes and just walk off.
Alright, Todd? Who the fuck is Todd? Tom will just turn to the rest of the group and say, alright, I'll meet you outside in a bit. And he will just go out the front of the tavern and just kind of just sit by the kind of service entrance.
As you're sitting outside waiting for Scraps to appear, you see Sandel and Dot Martin are kind of making a little impromptu stand with a little pile of materials on one side, and they're kind of just Dot Martin's kind of sitting there with a sign. It's like "Praise be Saint Albans."
Ah, you're doing a little recruitment drive, boys.
Sandel over here like, yeah, trying to.
Spreading the good word. I like it. I was talking to one of my new friends last night, and he came up with a great idea. We build a temple to St. Hubbins and a shoe shop in the same building.
They both look at you as if like they've just had like the mental flash of, that's genius.
I know. Here's what I'm thinking, right? What I know so far, this Cobalt Reserve or whatever, that's the place to be. I think head there, see if you can get some funding for this bad boy. See if you can get some church funds going. Maybe they can supply us with a building somewhere we can set up shop. We got to start bringing the word of St. Hubbins to the masses. I'm thinking,
like over enthusiastic, just like nodding along everything you're saying.
Yeah, I'm thinking you boys just go down there, just say we've got this hot new religion. We want to build a church. Can we get some money? I'm sure they'll give it to you. I'm sure they will.
You start like grabbing things and stuff them into a nearby bag and going, where's Cobalt Reserve?
I don't know. Ask around. Let your shoes guide you, and I'm sure they will lead you in the right direction. Go now, disciples of Saint Hubin.
At that point, they kind of just like bow before you go, as you say, Archbishop of Booties, and just starts, and the two of them kind of scurry off through the crowds of them on in the wrong direction. Then about a minute later, you see them kind of coming back, going, "Oh, wrong direction, but we're now on the right way," and then head towards on a long trip towards Westrun.
Yeah. Happy with himself, he'll sit and wait for his scraps.
And just as your scraps come out, Colonel Elspeth will be in the tavern just minding their own business. When somebody comes walking in from the tavern entrance, looks around, looks as if he's recognised Elspeth and Cloud.
I'm guessing it's my new character. So
Yes. If you would like to describe.
yeah. So what you guys will notice is a human with, hold on, I had a picture, with kind of bleach blonde hair, about 5'10" in height, wearing Cobalt Reserve vestments. Kind of come in, look around a little bit, and then recognize Elspeth and Cloud, and walk up to them and say, "Ah, Mrs. Elspeth, Mr. Cloud, lovely to meet you. My name is Edgar Hawks. I believe you had some encounters with the Cobalt Reserves recently. I have been sent to help you, as it seems the knowing mistress Ayun has taken a bit of a shining for you. I was hoping we could have a conversation."
Elspeth will go, I'm not married, so no misses. It's very judgmental of you there.
Oh, my sincerest apology. The last person who mentioned you by name did refer to you as Mrs. I will amend that in my notes. And I'll take out a notebook and kind of, you'll see, flick through a few pages and then kind of cross out a part in that.
And B, last time I checked, we didn't need a babysitter, so you might want to go and tell your Cobalt Reserve that we're not looking for a babysitter.
My apologies if I made it sound as if I was a babysitter. No, it's not as a babysitter. Given it seems you in particular, looking at Elspeth, have come in contact with the Cobalt Reserves on a number of occasions. and it seems that the knowing mistress has taken a bit of an interest in you. It is not so much as a babysitter, it's more in terms of helping you achieve whatever she hopes you may achieve in your life. And again, I do not expect to push my agenda on yourself, but I would like to accompany you to help in any way I can.
Elspeth is going to look at Cloud and just give him a look of, I don't know where to go with this.
Cloud sort of looks a bit quizzical, and just sort of goes, so you believe that we could do with someone, though you are the ones that struggle to A, deal with a gift invasion, B, deal with an illithid infiltrator, and then we got your stuff back.
Admittedly, we were ill prepared to deal with them. However, it seems that yourselves were very well equipped to deal with it. So it is also hoped that I could learn from yourselves as to how you were able to deal with such challenging opponents. We know a lot of different things the Cabal reserves, but self-defense is not usually at the top of our priorities. You seem much better adept at that. And it is, at least I had hoped to learn a little bit of how we would be able to learn from your abilities to protect those who are important to you.
Yeah. Generally walk into stupid situations and then go, oh fuck, and then get shit done. It's generally how it works, is it not, my dear?
Verbatim, that's what he's going to write down in his notebook.
Usually, although sometimes it's walk into stupid situations, get one of you kidnapped, and then have to get shit done. Giving Cloud a wink to indicate that she's joking.
Just sort of smiles. Well then, what would you bring to the table? Yeah, we don't need any more. Don't know what to say. Dead
Spellcasters?
weight. Not spellcasters. So anybody holding us, slowing us down, basically.
Oh no, I assure you, I'm fairly self-sufficient in being able to protect myself. The reserve as a whole may not be, but we do have individuals who are well trained. I am well trained in being able to protect myself. But also, I have a bit of a fondness for learning and have learned quite a bit around different topics. I may be a valuable source of information for yourselves in certain situations. I only have one rule, and that rule is don't lie to me. Otherwise, I will not get in your way, and I will generally try to stay by your side, just observing.
Okay, two things. One, You keep saying that you're very good at protecting yourself. We had someone in the group recently that was very good at protecting herself, not very good at looking after the rest of the group. In fact, ended up betraying us all. So how about you stop looking at what you can do for yourself and think about what you can do for the group as a whole. B, considering you're currently trying to persuade us to let you join us, bringing rules to the table like don't lie to me, little bit over the top considering we don't know you at all, so we're probably not going to be honest with you up front, because who the fuck knows who you are?
I do apologize. I have spent most of my time in the reserve. I do not know much about the outside, but I was trying my best to be as forthcoming and honest with who I am, without lying to you, as that is something that I do not like myself. I am fairly adept at martial arts, and I'm fairly observant at changing situations. Unfortunately, I'm not able to show you my self-defense skills unless provided with an opportunity to do so. If one of you were to like to throw a dagger at me, perhaps I can try to grab it and show you how I'm able to defend myself. But I'm also fairly aware that I need to defend everyone else, and I'm able to do that as well. But unfortunately, not able to prove it until we get into a situation where I need to.
Well, if Cobalt Reserve wants to keep an eye on us for whatever reason, at least if you're with us, you're not stalking around in the shadows, following us. At least we can keep an eye on you a bit better as well. And Cloud will look at Elsbeth. Might as well.
She'll shrug, as if to say yeah, sure, and then send you a message and going, this one is yours to babysit.
Fine, fine. You've got the Pope, I've got the librarian.
And Eret has the tree.
I think that's fair.
Indeed. In fact, on that note, I need to go find out loud. I should go find our little friend. I will be right back. And she'll get up and she'll go and try and find Tom.
I'll look at Cloud and say, as I recall in your last excursion to the reserve, you had another companion, a rather large fellow.
Yep, he's off finding someone. Is there a problem with that?
No, I wanted to introduce myself to him as well.
Give it time. We've all got our personal things to do, so we drop in and out.
And to be completely honest with yourself, I do know a little bit of magic. And then he'll kind of use dancing light to summon a couple of balls of light. I was born with this, and I'm able to manipulate a little bit of magic. Not a lot, just enough.
What race are you? May I ask? Sorry.
I'm human.
Sort of Cloud, still holding his spoon in one hand, sort of like eating. I assume like probably porridge or something. Sort of slows down, and his left hand starts tapping the table as a very slow one-handed clap. Like, congratulations, you can do magic.
He'll kind of cock head to one side. Thank you.
With a little wave of his hand, he'll do prestidigitations and make some little sparks and puff of smoke and such. Not exactly that special.
I never claimed to be. And I'll take out the book and just kind of make a couple of notes about Cloud being able to use magic, or some magic.
That right there, I will say no to. If you're writing stuff about me, don't. I don't appreciate that sort of stuff.
You are more than welcome to see what I write. It is
No,
not
that's perfectly fine. I don't care what you write. I don't want you to write it. Putting me down on paper, I do not appreciate.
Is that no? Are you asking me not to write anything down full stop, or not to write anything down in front of you?
Preferably, I would rather you not write anything about me at all. And if you insist on writing stuff about the rest of the group, I would ask their permission first.
How else would I make note of what I'm learning from observing?
Generally, if you're observing and learning, you're learning, which means you're remembering.
But taking one for just their word, it may not be always what scholars go by. Information is meant to be written so that it can transcend those who are no longer
Information
there.
is to be written so it can be passed on for others to learn. That is what the point of writing is. But there is some information that is not allowed to be known, that should not be known. And even your deity stands by that fact from reading a couple of special books.
Oh, you speak of the blacklisted information. I understand. I will seek permission before making notes. And he'll do a shallow bow and put his book away.
Cloud will finish off his food while he waits for Elizabeth to return with Tom, hopefully.
And Edgar is just gonna kind of sit there, just looking at Cloud, just a bit like almost emotionless on his face, observing.
Elle has gone to find Toto. Not Toto. Fuck. Tom.
It doesn't take you long to find him. He's outside, currently enjoying a bowl full of like half-eaten, well, leftover meats that he's kind of halfway just polishing through.
Tom?
Through like a mouthful of somebody else's bacon. Just look up like, yeah?
You do realise you don't have to eat leftovers, right? Stuff that's meant to be thrown away. You can get proper food. We'll get you proper food.
But if I don't eat it, who will?
The-
It'll just get thrown away.
No, it goes to be used to feed the farm animals and the plants. They tend to compost it around here, so make it into plant food.
But I've been at war with this fucking raccoon for God knows how long, and he always beats me to the good scraps. And now I'm in a prime position to get these scraps before he does. You just can't let your guard down like that.
But you don't need to get the scraps. You can have proper food in the inn. There'll be no battle. No one will be trying to get there before you. It'll be your food.
Yeah, but then the raccoon will think it's one. I can't have
But you will know he hasn't because he's eating scraps and you're eating lovely, freshly cooked, nice food.
It is nicer. Somebody bought me some yesterday, and it was nicer, but I like the scraps.
Okay, you are entitled to eat what you want to eat, but if you ever want to have proper food, you are perfectly able to. Just let us know.
Sure thing. And he'll just pick up like the handfuls of scraps and just stuff them in the pockets of his new Pope robes. And just say, what's the plan for the rest of the day? Oh, I'll be going to the circus.
I don't know. Will it be a discussion? I will warn you, we have got someone new following us around for a while at least. We'll see how they do. But human dude looks like he dyes his hair blonde because apparently that's a thing now. Wears blue clothes. Apparently he's been sent to assist us in following the God's plans for us, all in inverted commas.
But that's kind of my job already, isn't it? Well, I'm the God person. I literally made my God descend from the heavens yesterday.
I saw. How about we come inside and you can have this discussion with him? See what you
Mate,
think of him as a God person, from one God person to another God person.
all right, let's go. Let's go and measure this fool.
And I will lead Tom in to the table where Cloud and Edgar are sitting. I will go, Edgar, this is Tom. Tom, this is Edgar.
Tom's gonna really just like lean in over the table and like squint, really look at you really hard.
Nice to meet you, Tom. Edgar Hall. I'm a member of the Cohort Reserve.
Oh, the Cobalt Reserve.
Yes.
Suddenly you see Tom's kind of whole demeanor change, and he'll wipe his bacon greasy hands on his robes and put his hand out to shake yours. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Your hands are fairly. Yes, it's a pleasure. I'm gonna reach out, kind of, very tentatively, try to shake his hand, maybe just like holding like with two fingers.
So, what are you doing here?
It seems Miss Elspeth has had a couple of encounters with the Cobalt Reserves, and it seems that Ayun, the knowing mistress, has may have taken a bit of a shining for her. So it was discussed among my higher ups to send me just to aid and support her in achieving what the mistress may have planned for her in terms of her destiny.
Oh well, that's lovely, but actually, I think you'll find this group is already under the protection of Saint Hubbins. So dibs.
I do not know who this Saint Hubbin is.
Call yourself a man of the church. Tut tut tut.
I never proclaimed to be a man of the church. However, there is no reason why two deities, I assume Saint Hubin is a deity, cannot overlook and support a group of adventurers who are out to do good in society.
How's about this? Maybe Hubbins can take a step back if your kind organisation would like to make a generous donation to the Church of St. Hubbins.
I unfortunately cannot make the decision. However, I can write a letter to. Oops, bear with me. That's me. Not. I can write a letter to Mistress Quinn. To Mistress Quinn, and after she has returned from her own journey, she may consider it and support as accordingly.
All right, write the letter. And Tom would turn to Elspeth and say, I don't know how I feel about another god muscling in on my territory, but I think you should let him hang around for a bit. That's my professional opinion as a pope. Archbishop, I'm sorry.
I will kind of tap Tom on the shoulder. Would you mind awfully if I wrote your title down in my journal?
Oh, absolutely. That's Archbishop Tomfoolery the First.
I will write it down, Archbishop Tomfoolery the First, into my diary.
Of Saint Hubbins, the patron saint of quality footwear. Make sure that bit is very important.
Of Saint Hubbins, the patron saint of quality footwear.
That's the one. Recognize.
Recognize. And then I'll take a piece of parchment out and jot down that that Tom wants me to make a donation to St. Hubbins, to Church of St. Hubbins. An amount was not discussed. However, please get in contact with me so I can liaise it with Tom. And I'll write his full name and title out, and I'll kind of show it to Tom. Is this okay, or would you like me to add more?
No, that'll be absolutely fine. Let her know that 2 of my disciples are on their way to the Cobalt Reserve as we speak.
I will write that down as well.
Tom will also kind of look at Cloud and just be like, so this your new friend?
While you were having your conversation, Ellsworth would have just got telepathically in her head. Can I swap him for the druid, please? Eric can have this one. And then when Tom speaks, it will be, this is a new compatriot, maybe. We'll see how he works out.
Cloud will get a response of, no, you can't swap him for the druid. However, you might have to restrain me from smacking him if he continues to treat Tom like that and not wanting to shake his hand.
I think that's. I think I'll have to think about restraining you or not. But Cloud will sort of stand up and if we're all finished with breakfast, I have some business at Gilmore's to finish off, check up on, and start. And then we can decide on where we're going from there. If anybody's got any ideas.
The circus.
Ooh, out of game, Scott. Is it tonight or is it tomorrow night that the shipment and guns are supposed to be setting sail?
Let me think about it for a second. Tomorrow, I think.
Right, that's fair enough then. I weren't too sure. I know you said it was only a few nights from now, but weren't too night. So if it's tomorrow night, then that's fine. Cloud will shrug and look at Elsbeth and go, well, we can, on the way to Gilmore's, we can probably have a look to see if we can spot anybody we gave tickets to, see if they're okay.
Potentially a good idea. I'd rather that than us just blindly get teleported somewhere. That never goes well.
Oh, my dear, while I'm thinking about it, Gilmore gave you some blank scrolls, did he not?
The Cobalt Reserve gave us some blank scrolls, yes.
That's it. Yes. How long would it take you to inscribe a spell onto it, to them?
It would depend on the level or how powerful the spell is. Sorry to not use outside game terminology. I believe depending on how powerful the spell is, it takes longer. What were you thinking?
I was hoping for some sort of teleportation spell, but if that takes too long, I'll have to think of other means.
Yes. Are you thinking short range teleportation or long range?
How far is your dimension door? It's a few hundred yards.
400 feet, and actually on that note, when I used it yesterday, I ended up in Vincent's living room. Just casually said.
That Cloud will just literally stop, like skip a beat or in his steps for a moment. Oh, interesting. Random place to appear.
I wasn't exactly focusing at the time. I just puffed in a general direction. Apparently landed on his sofa.
Amount of times he's sort of just walked into whatever we were doing. I think it's, though, would have been better for a better scenario, but for us just to, one of us to pop in on him unannounced, slightly amusing.
He did tell me he didn't have time to deal with me tonight and let me out of the front door.
Knowing how well he plays games, I very much doubt if we return to that location, it would probably wouldn't even be there, if not have anything there. Knowing him.
True, good point. But at least we know it's the location he was.
But back to my original 400 feet.
If I
Might
may
actually be
interrupt,
far.
I do apologize. I understand you were mid sentence, but is what Miss Elspeth was referring to, what you referred to as you do random things and then deal with the consequences?
No.
My apologies. And he'll step back.
Sort of like take 2 looks at him, sort of shake his head and turn back to Elspeth. The job Ben said to me at the docks, had an idea on how I could get it done quite easily, and no disrespect, but I might actually be able to get it all done on my own.
No. Just no. If we're going to do something dangerous, we do it together, or we don't do it at all.
I understand, but it was just an instinct to think of what's the easiest way of doing it, and obviously reverted back to how I used to work. But it does make sense for me to sort of do it on my own. I can easily slip onto the boat, wait a little while for it to set sail. Once it's set sail, I can just wait a little bit longer for the primary crew to go to sleep if it's that late at night. Then I open my portable hull, drop the guns into it, and then use a teleportation scroll to jump out moments after setting the gun fuse in the gunpowder, blowing up the ship, taking the guns, and getting out quite quickly.
And what happens if you misstep and you get caught, or you can't find the guns, or the main crew don't go to sleep? You're miles away from any of us without any way of getting help.
Well, getting the guns out is the optional thing. Just thinking it and getting out is the primary, which I should be able to do relatively easily. One good placement of a small bag of gunpowder on the inside of the outer hull should blow a big enough hole to sink it.
If roles were reversed, and I was suggesting this right now, what would you be saying?
In your current state, no. But I'm confident, fast, and you know me, I can get in anywhere pretty much.
Is this a private conversation out of game?
I don't
No,
think so.
just sort of having a basic conversation as we're walking, not too loudly on certain points for anybody to actually hear, but Tom would definitely be able to hear most of it.
In that case, Tom would pipe up and just say, well, I can make us all a little bit sneakier. If sneaking in there is an issue for everybody, I can make us all a bit sneakier.
The long range teleport takes a minute to cast, and if you get interrupted, you have to start from the beginning again.
That's why if I had Dimension Door, I could more than likely just bounce 400 yards into the air, and then he'll click his fingers and the Tristan would appear on your shoulder. It's not always a cat.
I am incredibly uncomfortable with this idea.
Oh, if Tom's confident in his skills, maybe we can multiple go, stealth in, hide out on the boat. Once it sets sail, there'll definitely be a lot less people on the ship than on the docks.
Indeed, and if we take me along, I can at least be beginning the long-range teleport. My two new, well, not the two new ones. There was Gilmore gave me one from one friend to another to Whitestone, so we can always go on the boat and just go see Toto.
I was thinking I might not hand the whole if we manage to get the shipment, I might not hand it all over to Ben. May give him a few crates and then return the rest to Percival as a gesture of good faith. A bit of extra standing with a lord of somewhere doesn't exactly hurt now, does it?
Exactly.
If I may ask, what is this you are discussing about a shipment and sneaking in? It doesn't seem very honest to just sneak into places.
I've been given the opportunity to do a job of getting a shipment off of a ship. Well, dealing with a shipment on a ship. Either I sink it or I steal it. Either way is good. And it's against people who are technically breaking the law anyway, so it is less bad or unlawful, however you wish to play it. And I will say, if you're one of those people who are all hoity-toity on the rules, you're definitely going to have to turn around and head back home.
I am more curious as to why we are breaking the rules to. So you are saying that you can break the rules in order to make sure for the better good, for the greater good, that things go according to the rules?
Is that not what the Cobalt Reserve do? They say they are a place of knowledge and information to be shared, but I know for a fact that you do hide quite a bit of your knowledge in your vaults so that nobody can find it. Well, some people have found it.
Well, certain knowledge can be very destructive in the wrong hand. It is, after all, knowledge is power, so that's why certain knowledge is locked up, even from members of the reserves, such as I. However, if you are to say that for the greater good this needs to be done, then I shall accompany you if you allow me to. I would like to make a note of this conversation, however.
No.
May I ask why?
Because this conversation involves me, and as I said, I do not want me written down.
Fair.
And carry on heading to Gilmore's.
Cool. You go into Gilmore's and Kai's just behind the desk, just working on a couple of things. Sees you coming and goes, "Hello, hello, Clyde."
Morning, boy. You said you got my thing sorted?
Yes. And at that point, you just see the kind of beaded parts of the back door open, and in a sort of purple and gold trim box, you see Gilmore walking in, going, "That's it all wrapped up and ready for when." Oh, speakers of the devil, or rather the pussycat. "Hello, Cloud. Hello, Elsie. Hello, hello, hello." He's just like nodding everybody.
Morning.
You just put the box on the table, on the desk, sorry.
Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Elspeth.
Cal will go over and like tap the box a little bit. Is this it?
Yeah, a big grin appears on his face. Goes, "That's it, my boy."
A big Cheshire cat grin goes across Cloud's face and sort of opens the box and has a look in.
Okay, now, how would you have ideally had this cloak look like to Cloud? Well, how would Cloud like this cloak to look like?
Basically, it would have been. It would have had the similar sort of pauldrons, like obviously the Gift Commander. They would still be there, but slightly altered. And the whole cloak would have been black with this sort of green shimmer and the similar sort of vine-like markings that his tattoo has going through. But it's that sort of look where when you look at it, you can't quite see the pattern, but it's just about in your vision.
Visually, spot on. Kai seems to have had an almost uncanny ability to kind of get the visual look of what you wanted for the cloak.
And obviously, it would have been sort of like a studded leather armor, but the material would have looked like leather, but definitely feels as tough, but thinner and a bit lighter in a way.
Yeah, all the adjustments attached to the armor and the cloak, all there, tailor fitted. A couple of surprises given the nature of the substance.
Cloud will sort of like grab the sort of pauldron parts and flick it out and give it a shake out and wrap it around his. Take off his basic cloak and slip this one on.
Perfect fit. Almost as it feels as if there's nothing there at all. The pauldrons sit perfectly over the shoulders as you move. And already, even before it became apparent, there's something about this cloak out of the ordinary.
You are learning a lot from him, aren't you, Kai? And Cloud will sort of nod towards Sean.
Yeah, Gilmore's just looking with that sort of, again, almost like briefly seen biting the lip a little bit. Go, he is quite the charmer with that cloak on. You kind of just like side eyes Elspeth just briefly. Quite. You need to watch this one. But I believe you should probably give it a little bit of time and see how it feels in the next couple hours.
No, of course. But in the meantime, I wanted to talk about a couple other things, if possible. Well, first, I assume, did this cost anything extra than the things we paid for when I commissioned it, or does it? Am I owing more?
Kai and Gilmore kind of look at you and they go, "Well, you see, my boy, this thing had some problems during construction. We had a few issues in the shop, as you know, and you've helped with some. And well, we do need a little bit extra towards the cloak, but we've brought it down as much as we can."
And how much?
1,200 gold pieces.
That's fair enough. And Cloud will pull out one of the 2 black sapphires and put it on top of the box he's just taken the cloak out of for Gilmore.
At which point, after that, a second, he looks at you and goes, "I really should charge more." But
Too late. But I do have a couple of other commissions. No exact rush, but they're not going. It probably won't be easy. They're custom gesturing towards the cloak, if possible.
at which point, Gilmore kind of sorting through the change that needs to give you, kind of goes, "Kai, if you wouldn't mind, sure, Sean." And he'll start taking a little quill and pen with a little notepad and starts noting down, "What's the request?"
First one was what we discussed the other day, the bricks and such we brought. If there's a way to make a item to stop scrying or location on an area using them would be very helpful for one. And I had an item for a ring maybe, or of such sort. Something that if you put someone's blood or such into the ring, that person cannot harm you or cannot find you or such. A get the fuck ring, as it may be.
Yes, Gilmore go, "Remember, underline that get the fuck ring. We should patent that." And Kai looks at him and goes, "I don't think that's what he said, but sure, Sean." And just kind of notes it down.
Obviously, having it being used against one person would be handy. Would be very helpful. If you could at least put a couple of drops from a couple of different people in it, even more so. But obviously, like I say, experimental and interesting stuff. And he'll turn to Sean, who's you say he's counting out the change. Cloud will say, keep it, put it towards the research, and then let me know if there's extra needed.
At that point, as Gilmore had just actually finished counting out the change, just slides it all back into a bag and goes, "I like big spenders." He kind of finishes his notes and says, "We'll let you know."
Of course. Well, thanks. Thankfully, thanks to the circle Sean's provided, lovely Elizabeth. we're never too more than a day away. And Cal will sort of, for a moment, sort of get distracted by his new cloak, and then turn to the rest of you and go, anything else while we're here?
Elspeth is going to turn to Gilmore and go, I may have put 2 and 2 together and got 12. That's normally the way I work. But yesterday morning, Devdon wasn't in the house, and very shortly after, you sent me the message to say you'd got the list for me. Can I ask, was he the one building the list, or have I put, as I said, 2 and 2 together and got 12?
No, I acquired the list via some friends I have in high places.
Okay. I was just checking. But there was nothing in the shop I was looking for. So I am ready to go whenever anyone else is.
Edgar's kind of going to look around the shop because he's never seen Gilmore's shop before. Just a bit of amazement, but like very little kind of facial expression.
If that's it, nothing, we'll be off. We'll leave you gentlemen in peace. Have a good day and good luck on the research.
They both just smile and nod. Gilmore's just like trying to not show that he's struggling to carry this big bag of gold, and the black sapphire just kind of sitting inside it as well. And kind of just sits it down in a chair somewhere, just kind of shoos the chair over, just kind of like, yeah, I can handle this. Kai goes back to his notes. And I think at that point, everyone will leave Gilmore's.
I will have kept my eye on Tom to make sure he wasn't trying to steal more shoes.
No, Tom's good. He's not stealing any more shoes today. He did his ritual thing. He's not going to need to do one for a while, so he's not on the lookout for shoes.
He can make all the shoes he wants now.
Exactly.
Elspeth still hasn't shown him that she can just change her shoes when she feels like it.
Don't do that. Nah, Tom's just hanging out by the door. Like, he kind of feels a little bit, kind of a little bit more proud than he did previously now that he's a archbishop. So he'll just like, when people walk past and kind of give him an odd look in the street, he'll just like nod at them. Like, praise be. At like everybody that goes past.
Okay, as you guys wander through the streets of Amon, you'll notice that heading towards where the temple district is, just as you guys were heading out, not heading in the direction of the temple district, you'll see Lady Kima with a bunch of other kind of paladin and cleric looking individuals who look a little bit singed around the edges, and they happen to be like I've got like a horse and cart behind them with a large tarp thrown over the back of it.
Well, looks like they got that sorted.
Well, I'm glad someone did. We got the more important thing sorted.
Shall we go check on the gentleman we sent off to the circus?
Well, considering Tom seems really excited to go, I suggest that that's a good idea, to at least make sure we're not walking into a death trap.
And Clara will head off and see if we can find one of the 23 people we sent to the circus yesterday.
Make me a perception check.
Lovely 14.
14. At first glance, can't see any. You're going around the places where you know these guys usually congregate. And at first, you don't seem to see many.
While we're walking around, can I attune to this while we're walking around, or do I need to sort of stop and stay somewhere for?
I will attune as you're walking around.
Cool. So obviously I tune to it as we're mooching about, but obviously after a little while we can't find them. Cloud will sort of look to the group and just sort of, well, that's not exactly working out too well, or that's not exactly a good sign.
At that point, Elle will probably have a look to see if she can spot anyone that they gave a ticket to last night. Just to make sure Cloud hasn't gone blind all of a sudden.
Make me a perception check. You catch a glimpse of people who you think are familiar to the group of Myriad members you give tickets to. Do me a favour and roll me a d6.
Free, straight down the middle.
You see 3 members.
Okay, and I will point them out to Cloud and go, do they look like them?
Maybe, I'm not too sure. Maybe we should change our appearance and have a little chat.
Potentially.
Cloud will say to the other two, if you can wait back here, and Cloud will change his appearance. Different from the one who sold them the tickets. So it's a bit, so it's not obvious.
So as you guys approach, you notice that these guys look like they've seen some serious shit.
Elle will obviously also disguise herself.
Cloud will head up and sort of do normal thief can't check and greeting type thing via the myriad signs, and basically ask them in like I heard someone had some tickets to a auction or something. Have you heard anything about that?
And you're just gonna sort of look at you and go, that ain't no auction, that was a fucking freak show. Although one at the back kind of goes like on, it was oddly entertaining, but fucking wow.
What do you mean? Something wrong or?
And they all, by sheer accident, all say it has to be seen to be believed. All in unison.
So if it's not a auction of such, it's not a trap.
They all look at each other and go, but we thought it was not some sort of like black market auction, which is why most of us went. We got there and it turned out it was some freaky deaky, and then before they can say anything more, there's just the case of, by popular demand, we've added more dates, and you can see Bendy just kind of sitting on a nearby bench, just like waving his hand, kind of like gingerly, like. And the three Maria members see him and kind of just, you can see a visible chill go up their spine, and then kind of go, whoa.
Okay. Cal will just look at Elspeth and gesture to start heading off. Sort of like nod to the myriad blokes and sort of give a slower, awkward nod to Bendy.
Elspeth will just follow along.
While Cloud and Elspeth have kind of changed appearances, kind of walked off, can I nudge Tom and say, who are they looking for, and why did they need to change their appearances in order to talk to these people?
Ah,
Do you not find that at all suspicious that they are in effect misleading the people they're talking to?
why do you care?
I'm just trying to understand how yourselves and Miss Elspeth manage or kind of carry yourself in public.
Maybe stop asking questions and just let it play out.
But then you don't learn about what's happening.
Yep.
Surely you ask questions to understand what's happening.
Nope. You just let it happen.
That seems really odd.
You seem really odd.
How do you plan for things not working out if you do not have an understanding of what's going to happen?
Well, you never know what's going to happen.
You can prepare.
Literally never goes to plan.
Then surely you've not done enough preparation.
Doesn't matter. Maybe I don't know. I think you're asking the wrong person. I'll be honest. Haven't known these guys that long, and really, I was in it for the shoes, so I don't really have a decent understanding of tactics.
But surely, as a archbishop, you have a responsibility to be honest to those who are following you or those who are around you. Unless
Why?
I've misunderstood your post.
Nope, I'm the archbishop. People lie all the time. So what difference does it make? Nobody's. You can't be 100% truthful all the time. You got to tell a little white lie every now and then. And religion's about bending the truth. You get me?
No.
Well, trust somebody who is in a high position in the church, myself. That is exactly what it is about. If you want to be 100% truthful all the time, then you're hanging around with the wrong group, my friend.
Are you truthful, or do you deceive others all the time?
Yeah, I deceive some people sometimes. That's kind of my religion. It's a big part of it.
So you follow a religion and preach a religion that teaches dishonesty and not being truthful.
Not to anyone else's detriment, just for fun, for trickery, tomfoolery.
I'm sorry, I do not understand.
Stuff like this. Sit down, and he'll just gesture for you to sit anywhere, like on the floor, anywhere.
I'll take a seat at whatever is kind of the cleanest space available. If there's like a chair somewhere or something.
And right before you sit on your seat, he'll slide his whoopee cushion underneath.
Make me a sleight of hand check to see if you can slip the cushion without.
So, quick question. Passive perception, 28.
All right, blessing of the trickster, pass without a trace. Nah, god damn it, 19 still.
Yeah, even 19 still can't get past it. Yeah.
Why are you putting that there?
We're supposed to prove a point, but you're just fucking boring. And he just turn around and walk away. Cloud, your new friend is no fun whatsoever. I'm waiting outside. I'm going to preach. And Tom's going to go outside in a bit of a. He's going to have a bit of a huff. I think he's frustrated. He's just going to go outside and just start preaching to strangers on the street about St. Hubbins.
As Elle returns to where Edgar is, she'll go, I can see you're doing super well at integrating yourself in the group.
I merely asked him a question, and that's how he reacted. I meant no offense when I asked him the question. I can repeat to you exactly what I asked him if it helps you understand.
I am perfectly happy for you not to. I'm not a child. Do not speak to me like one. Thank you. I am probably at least 10 times your age.
I did not mean it that way. I merely meant it that in case you felt I was being dismissive of him, I was not. I merely asked him a question and queried whether you wanted me to repeat that same question to yourself so you understood what I asked.
I'm just going to turn to Cloud and go, I am leaving him to you. I really can't cope with him at the moment, and I'm going to walk out after Tom.
You just sort of get in your head. Tell Tom he's not my friend. He's just an acquaintance. And then he'll just sort of look at Cloud. Will just look at Edgar. You're doing well so far, aren't you? Oh dear.
He'll look like, again, very blank expression. Thank you.
Not a compliment. Oh dear. You're a little bit. Oh no, you're not a little bit. You're extremely uptight, straight-laced. Need to learn flexibility. It's something you have to in life.
Like I mentioned to you before, I hadn't been outside the reserves before, so you will not will. I do apologize if my mannerism is not what you're used to. I am, like I said, trying to learn, and I will try to be a bit more flexible. Although I do admit I do not necessarily agree with lying as a means to an end, although I do, from based on my conversation with Tom, understand that sometimes you need to lie to achieve the greater good. I paraphrase, of course.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. It's only day one. Let's give it a week. See if we can still keep you around. And, come on then. Tao will sort of gesture for the puppy to follow and catch up with Elsbeth and Tom.
While Elspeth is outside with Tom, she's going to say, don't worry, I don't like him either. Cloud says he's not his friend, he's just an acquaintance, and I have a request of you.
Sure, far away.
I have the ability to send short-range messages. I'm wondering if you have the possibility of sending long-range messages.
I do.
Do you have the ability to send long-range messages today?
Let me double check. I think I did yesterday, but no, I do. I have it prepared. Yeah, I can do it today.
Awesome. Can I describe to him the gentleman that took the books off of us at the Cobalt at the Cobalt Reserve yesterday? And go, this gentleman here, can you do me a favour? When you message him, obviously introduce yourself as Tom, and that you are a friend with Elspeth. Ask him why he has sent her a babysitter and what we have to do to get him recalled to them.
Can I do that with a description?
Something like me, the intended spell, because I think the wording would it depends on your relationship with the person. I think how much
It just
information
says, yeah, the creature you're familiar.
I know Jester sends messages just with descriptions of people, but I don't know. I think it might be DM ruling.
Yeah.
She does it with they've like minor illusioned and stuff. The person.
I can do that then. I can minor illusion him. I can major image him if you really want. Get him walking and talking to you.
Yeah, I'd say if you use major image and kind of give him as much stimuli as possible, I would say fuck it, send a message after giving them a bit of a rundown on the gentleman. So what is it you say?
All right, I've got 25. Oh shit, I've got 25 words. All right. I turned to Elspeth and I said, okay, I'm going to send the message to this guy, okay? What's his name?
I can't remember what his name is. Out of game. Elspeth would remember, but Becca does not.
Okay. And what should I address you as? Just Elspeth? Should I just say
Elspeth is fine.
hi? Okay. All right, ready? I'm gonna start sending it. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Hello. You sent a babysitter to look after Elspeth and friends. Why did you do this? It's not necessary.
6 more words.
Have you heard of St. Hubbins? Done. How was that?
That was perfect.
He should be able to reply, so I'll let you know when he does.
Thank you.
A few moments later, the scribe, whose name I don't even think I actually gave a name for this particular dude, but we're just going to go with nameless scribe for the moment, just to get it sorry. I did not send anyone to look after Elspeth or your band. I'd have to ask my superiors to clarify. We'll inform as soon as possible.
All right. He says that he'll have to ask somebody that he didn't send him himself, and that he'll get back to me on that.
Perfect, we'll take that.
He didn't mention St. Hubbins.
Don't forget he works in the Cobalt Reserve. They already have Ioun, and gods are selfish beings and like to only have themselves be worshipped.
That's fair enough. Stupid human. Trying to stop me doing my whoopee cushion trick.
You have a whoopee cushion trick?
Yep. I have a whoopee cushion trick.
Remind me next time I'm welcome at home to take you home. I have a lot of people that would find you amazing.
I really wouldn't want to do the whoopee cushion trick on somebody that you like. Because it does make their entire person smell for an extended period of time.
That's fine, I can fix that, but I think the people I'd introduce you to would find it as funny as you do.
Alright, that's fair enough. I'm thinking about maybe finding an easier way to spread the word of St. Hubbins. I've got this idea, and I'm thinking maybe you're the perfect person to help me. I'm thinking about to spread the word of St. Hubbins quicker, that I might make. Well, you've seen pamphlets and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is like a pamphlet, except it's made out of wood and it would be attached to the bottoms of my feet. So that every time I step on the ground, somewhere that makes a footprint, it will print the word of St. Hubbard straight onto the ground.
That is an amazing idea. I love it.
That's what I thought. Imagine crossing the desert, St. Hubbins, St. Hubbins, St. Hubbins, St. Hubbins, St. Hubbins, St. Hubbins, all the way off into the distance.
Although how many people would see it in the desert? I think you'd be better walking around in a town in the rain where it's muddy and there's lots of people that will see St. Hubbins, St. Hubbins, St. Hubbins.
Either way, quid's in.
Exactly. You have
Oh,
some very good ideas.
thank you very much. So all I'm gonna need is the materials to make some shoes. So we get those together. I'll start cobbling these bad boys up.
What do you need to do it, and we'll see what we can do.
I'm gonna need some levers, some type of wood for the soles. Yeah, some leather straps. Stuff like that. Some kind of something to sew it all together with. Maybe some glue, some nails, saw, uh, yeah, stuff like that.
Well, how about this? And she'll pull out her old leather armour that she doesn't wear anymore. I go, well, that's a start for you there.
Oh, that's loads of leather. That's perfect. Thank you very much.
You are more than welcome. I don't use it anymore. May as well get put to good use.
Spreading the good word.
Well, so far I think you do better at spreading the good word than annoying human does. I thought elves were bad, but Jesus Christ, that guy has a stick up his ass.
Well, but I asked him about his God, and he said that I don't think that he is strictly a follower of his God. I think he works for people that are. I'm struggling to figure it out what it is that he does, or what it is that he stands for, that he represents. I'm not sure, but I'm going to keep a close eye.
Please do.
I'm a sneaky boy.
You are. You and Cloud make a good pair.
Are we going to the circus?
That is a question. Potentially? Let's wait for Cloud to join us again and we'll double check.
If it's dangerous, then let's not go.
No, agreed. I think we should avoid that if it's dangerous.
Yeah, especially if tomorrow's going to be dangerous. 2 dangerous days in a row doesn't sound.
Yeah. By the way, thank you for letting us know that she wasn't what we thought she was. I'm just sorry I couldn't be there to assist in her removal.
It's okay. I didn't know if I was overstepping boundaries or what, but it seemed kind of important. So, and you've been nice. You've been really nice to me since I threw that shoe over the fence. So I thought I'd repay the favor.
I'm glad you threw the shoe over the fence. You've been a good friend.
You too.
Well, hopefully it continues for a while. And you don't want to leave us too soon to run your church.
Nah. I'll stay with you till I get the church up and running, and then you can come and visit at my church anytime.
Always.
Cool.
By the way, have I shown you my trick?
No.
I'll go, watch my shoes. And then she will close the changeling her shoes into something else, and then do it again. And then go back to her original pair.
You'll see his little goblin eyes like widen. Oh my god. That's amazing. You should show St. Hubbins that. He'd be really impressed.
Next time he comes down for a visit, I'll show him.
Yeah. He will love it. I'm telling you.
At that point, I assume we have been joined.
Yep.
So, what is the plan?
Are we going to the circus? Tom would like to know.
It seemed it's very peculiar and maybe a bit disturbing in some fashions, but they seem to be alright and return okay. So, if you're up for it, we can make a venture. And he'll pull out the roll of tickets he's still got.
I'm up for it. Maybe we should gather our erstwhile companions who seem to have been missing for this morning and go as a group.
I think so. Cloud will reach into his haversack and pull out the extra messenger ring we got from Copy and pop it on and try and contact Eric to meet us back at the tavern or such. And I think we start heading that way to meet up with him.
And Elspeth will pop herself next to Cloud and just send a message going, just do me a favour, if it's going to be creepy, stay close.
Of course. And I just need to find out what Kai's special things he's done to this. As he's taken it, supposedly a step further than I expected.
Well, whatever he's done to it, it definitely suits you.
I think I designed it quite well. Sort of matches what you're wearing.
It does. It's funny. We have the same taste in clothes.
I have to say, Toto's deity is very peculiar and interesting, but my patron, damn it. Now Sam's got me doing it. Tom's deity is very interesting and peculiar, but my patron was here first.
True. I'm starting to feel a little bit like the odd one out.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh, you've got Arrow. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a deity or such.
True. And I'm not sure Trevi does either. Oh,
Don't know with that one. It's a bit peculiar, but don't believe so.
but yes, let us go and find our friends. And go have a fun day at the circus.
Okay, Eric will inform you that he's on his way, but it seems that Trevi is a pain in the ass to keep a hold of when they're very excitable and run about the city on their own. So he'll join you as quick as he can. And with that, we'll call tonight's session to a close.
Yay! So on that note, I will turn the stream off. So night night stream.
Night stream.
Night
Night
stream.
stream.